And so I had a bold voice. So I got there the year that they didn't choose bold voices. They wanted soft
Will
voices.
you sing right now?
Oh, my goodness, no. No. Welcome back to another episode of Be Life Changers. I'm your host, Kathy Coates, and we are here to help you find your purpose in plant, in business, and in life by sharing local love. I'm excited to have Jared with us today with JT Visuals, without the I, because we're more than meets the eye.
Perfect. You nailed it.
I was like, yes, we nailed it. We nailed it. Anyhow, no, I absolutely am excited to have Jared with us today. It is an honor to have you here. It's an honor to be here. This is an amazing studio, and I'm so happy to be introduced to you and find this studio. With it being a new podcast and just coming out, there's always those little details that you don't know, because this is a new realm for me. Like, I've not been here before. And so shout out to Stacy with Brandon Go KC for introducing us.
Yeah, Stacy's incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And then Mindy made the connection through Stacy. And I've always known about you through Content and Cocktails, an event that Kathy does that you guys need to go to. It's pretty amazing with Stacy. And then, but for some reason, we were never in the same room together. But
I find that strange.
Yeah.
But I think it's a God thing because, timing is always, it needs to be in place.
You're so right. I'm just realizing that, like, with, that's weird.
Yeah. No, because I didn't know I was going to have a podcast. So if we would have met earlier, then maybe we wouldn't have connected the way we did now. Which, sometimes I think you think that, well, how did I not run into this person? I've been in so many places, but I just think it's always that perfect place, that perfect time, that perfect moment. And, because it just needed to happen that way so that, this could happen. Like, how amazing is this? Like, look at this backdrop you done did. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so special. Like,
this was a good collaboration of getting this together.
I think it was. And that's what it's all about, collaborating. I think that's one thing, when you're talking about businesses, sharing local love. That word share is so important. Like, because we need to share for one another. I think we get into the mode of competition so much. Like, we always feel like we're in competition because we're doing the same thing. When there is no such thing as, being saturated.
I agree. Like, a lot of people, they have these dreams to start something with content. Maybe they even want to be a YouTuber, and it's becoming the next, like, musician thing, where, like, you need a job that's going to pay the bills, and then crush dreams and all that. That's the story of I Can Only Imagine, that guy.
That's right.
I don't know. Yeah, if you remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then eventually you do it, though, because if you're called to it, you're going to do it anyways.
Right.
No matter what people say.
Right.
And then when you do that, you find that, wait, hold on, but I still have a place in this world. I still have a voice in this world. I am the niche, and all this, all these things. And then you get in front of the right audience and the right people if you're doing it for business, and sales start to come through, and it really helps. It's not, oh, it's so saturated. There's other people doing video stuff on, that would be me. Like, there's other people doing video stuff on YouTube. Why should I do it? Well, I mean, we're all actually DJs of everyone's content. We're all remixing things that already exist.
Definitely.
And so why not serve the people best and be the guide for that? Like, that would be an excellent idea. And I love that you're doing that on a lot of your social platforms, and you get it.
Right.
And it's really cool.
That collaboration deal. And it all started back with, Michelle, who, when we started KC Women's Events, we came in, we worked together at first in a gym. And then we came together here in Kansas City. We met back up. And then we decided, well, I should say she made me jump out the boat, because that's kind of goes. If you've ever seen the first episode, you're going to hear how.
Is it a boat?
Yeah.
Or is it an airplane?
I don't know. I won't jump out of an airplane. My father says, why jump out of a perfectly moving plane?
Because it's fun.
No, you don't do it till it's an
I've done
emergency.
it.
Okay.
And guess what?
I'd pass out and die.
Zero nerves.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm a little crazy.
You are
I had
crazy.
zero nerves doing it because I was prepared beforehand and really thinking of it and putting myself in there, and then jumped out. I was like, hey, do a backflip, like do this, that. I wanted to go crazy, and then I just did it. Like, there's that energy that starts coming up.
Right.
And hey, this is really good for anybody that's like thinking of starting some sort of social media thing. Who's a little. I think the audience will like this. If they're a little bit scared to get out there, but you can utilize that energy of fear, and you can utilize that energy of anxiety, and just call it excitement. And once you start telling yourself that story, that hey, I'm actually excited to do this, then it actually helps, and it becomes fuel instead of crushing you down and stopping you from living out your potential.
So true. But you're still not going to get me to jump out of a plane.
Okay. Hey, the first step is you got to want it.
No, exactly.
You have to want
I
to.
get it, though. I love that analogy, though. That's perfect analogy. I would jump out of a plane. My purpose would be that it's going to save my life. Then I would jump out of a plane because then I'm going to have that energy and it wouldn't scare me anymore because I know it's the only thing that's going to do.
Or you do it because you're scared anyways, and that's called being brave.
Right. Having that faith that I'm not going to pass out, that I will make it to the, maybe you will talk me into jumping out of a plane.
Since we're talking about being brave and content, I don't know if this is, you can steer me away from this, but did you ever watch that show that was David and Goliath?
Yeah.
That show?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah. There was something they depicted in that series that I didn't know before or think of.
Okay.
And that is that to have courage and to be brave, you're still going to be scared, and you do it even though you're scared.
Oh, goodness.
Because they explored that visually on the show, and I thought they did a good job.
Oh, yes, they did. Yes, because it's so true. Because there is a level of fear you have to get through. And, I always say, if you're not scared, your vision isn't big enough.
Ooh.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Because, I was really, back in the day, even running a gym, I was scared to do that. Like, I'd never been a personal trainer or a group fitness instructor, and now they're asking me to run a gym. Like, really? Like, I've never done this before. But I had to move through my fear of, okay, you are good enough to do this.
You're saying running a gym, not running in a gym?
Yeah.
Right?
I ran in a gym, and I run the gym.
Oh, okay. Both and.
Both and.
Nice.
No, yes.
So you're a little, do you follow Alex Hormozy ever?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I'm in
cool.
trouble then, right? You're just going to get me through this whole thing, right? It's okay. It's all right. I told him I'd always have a comeback. That's for sure. Yep, I always do. I always have a comeback, but that's good.
Yeah, you're never too late.
Never, ever, ever. You're never too late. I am 51 years old. You're never too late.
I would not think that.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I am 51 years old, and I just said my name out loud on. I
Your
just told
age,
you all
yeah.
my age, didn't I? Well, I'm not.
Don't clip that.
Bleep. No, it's okay. I don't. I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm here. It's a great place in life. I had to do it scared, do it afraid. Because I always thought, I didn't get here in time. Like, I got married at a very young age and then had kids at a young age.
Was it 19?
Yeah, I just was turning 20. I had just turned 20, and I had my first baby at 21. And, of course, I have 8 kids altogether. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
But I have
I'm
8.
one of 6 kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I have 8.
So I kind of relate in the sibling side.
Yes. I have 8.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I have
so much joy.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. That's yes, it is joy. It is.
Is it? Do you eventually, since you're in business, do you find that running family ends up being similar to business as far as delegating leadership and who does what?
Oh, definitely. Because I didn't finish college. I started out at Ozark Christian College, and I went there to actually sing. I was
No.
Yeah. So
Shut
me
up.
and Danielle, my best friend, she was on the second episode.
Yeah.
So you got to go back and watch that one. We were together, and we actually sang in a group called Free Spirit together.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
then that's when I wanted to go to Ozark Christian College because they had this big impact brass to sing. And so I had a bold voice. So I got there the year that they didn't choose bold voices. They wanted soft voices.
Will you sing right now?
Oh, my goodness, no. No, I know. Well, what do you want to sing? I probably could, but no, we'll do that on another episode. But yeah, I tore up my voice by teaching water aerobics because I was screaming a lot. But I still can sing. It just doesn't sound as good as like it did back in the day. I'd have to really coach my voice again because I screamed at 8 kids and I scream at... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
You probably did.
I probably did, but no.
I didn't have anger issues till I had kids.
No, yeah. Well, they will test you. Yep, that's for sure.
Even that little bit that's in you, it'll be amplified.
So much truth. That's so true. But yeah, so being there and then coming back at a very young age, having kids at a young age, I had to face a lot of things. My second child was deaf and autistic. So at the age, you think about
Gabriel?
that's 20. Yeah, Gabriel.
Okay.
Gabriel's my second son. He has special needs and he is deaf and autistic. I was just 22, almost 23. So I was very young at that. And so I was very afraid. I mean, because I didn't know. I had one kid at home and one kid there. So there's many things in life that you face in fear, but that's where your strength comes from. I think that's really important to understand that, that's where when you go through the storm, when you're going through that storm, even when you're scared, you'll do it anyway, but when you come out on the other side, you see what you need to learn through that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then the next step you take, you think you're not going to be as scared, but I can't promise that.
Yeah. Because or even if you are, it's not a bad thing. Learn to channel the energy and then use it for your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you sing on stage?
Did I sing on stage?
Like you went to school, but did you get to points where you were like doing recitals or anything?
Yeah. So what we did was I didn't make Impact Brass like I wanted to, but failure isn't final. It's good to fail sometimes. Failure is not final. And really, I didn't fail. It was just that I made it into a traveling group instead because the one year they had the soft voices and I have the bold voice. Yes, y'all know. Everybody, when I walk into a room, you know it. And so it was a bold voice, but they used us as traveling teams. So we got to travel all over Missouri and some places in Kansas. And we did go to a couple places in Oklahoma as well. Did you know that Oklahoma has the cow chip capital of the world?
Did you know cow tipping's not a thing?
Cow tipping?
Yeah.
It's not a thing?
Apparently.
Oh.
Someone said that to me.
I don't know.
And I was like, wait, what? Hold on.
I may have grew up in the country,
I don't know.
But I'm definitely not a country girl.
Mindy, was cow tipping a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a thing.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so.
Okay. It's a thing, guys.
Well, there's really a cow
So
tip
whoever
capital.
told me that, and the moral of the story is don't believe everything you hear.
Okay, I would agree
Unless
with
it's
that too.
on this podcast.
Yes, I would agree with that too.
Then never do any of your own research and never disagree with us. I'm being sarcastic.
No, I get it. But there really is a cow chip capital of the world. I took my picture by there. We sang there, and it was great though. That was a great experience. I learned a lot at a young age, but it was a really good experience to be that young and getting over that fear of being on stage, and singing in front of people. And, of course, by that time, I pretty much already got over it because, I used to lead song service and stuff growing up.
Oh, nice. Me too.
Did you really?
Yep.
Yeah, led children's church and all that
kind
of stuff. Yeah, that's why
I did music for kids once.
Oh, you did music for kids? Okay.
Oh, I mean, several times, actually.
Yeah.
But.
Maybe that's why I had so many kids. But anyway, yeah, so that was the first thing was just, going through that and learning those experiences. And then, of course, being a young mom and being able to face fear all the way through. But that's where you get your determination from. I think that's where you find out who you are. And a lot of times, like we had talked about before, losing your identity sometimes too. When you come to that. I mean, I don't know about your experiences. Tell me a little about you. I don't know how. Tell me something that you think that you went through that maybe taught you that.
Okay, so you're going to love this because I don't know if you know this, but you said it on a previous episode, but I was a stay-at-home dad for a while.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
That was something that was very difficult because I'm not built for it in the sense physically. And when babies cry, you have to warm up a bottle before you can get them to feed them. I don't know. So you had to wait for the time. I started developing strategies and things for that. And I was like, oh, I got to get it ready and make sure it's ready. Because if I ever didn't, then it's like, oh, to go from frozen to like, oh, I got to feed the baby, but it's going to be 10 more minutes.
And what do you do with the baby while in the meantime?
And then, well, that too. But I mean, you figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
You're either holding them or you have a thing you can lay them in. But yeah, oh, dude, that taught me so much, though, just being a stay-at-home dad. And it was so precious to me. She's 8 years old now. And my first child, her name's Lyric.
Oh, wow. I love, and we're talking about music. And her name is Lyric.
Her name's Lyric.
I love that. That is a beautiful name.
And if I ever make a video about her, then it's a song. It's a lyric video.
A lyric video.
Because, you look up bands sometimes and it's like the lyric video. So.
The lyric video. Yeah. Well, you're going to have to do it then. Definitely.
That taught me so much, though. Like, and also to appreciate the stay-at-home work side of things. Like, it's a lot.
Right.
And it's very needed, and it is rewarding.
Right.
And it's really cool to be able to, like, do things. But I had to get out of my shell with it as well because it was, like, just survival mode. And then I would hear from other people that's like, they just take their kids with them to places. It doesn't stop them from doing things.
Right.
And then I'm like, wait, hold on. Should I be taking them out more? I don't know.
Right.
And then so that whole experience, how long was that? Like 1, 2 years, 3 years. And then we moved to Africa. We were missionaries over there.
Oh, I didn't know that either. Yeah. That's super fun.
We took our, at the time, 3-year-old. And then.
Talk about fear.
Oh, yeah. And I haven't driven shift.
Scared? I mean, that's.
I haven't driven a manual car before.
Oh, my.
And it's like they did actually have some automatics, but we went with an organization that the car that they were able to give us was a manual. I was like, all right, okay, I'll learn it. So not only am I learning stick shift in a car, I'm also learning how they drive over there. So there's more fear and anxiety and everything coming out because
was it at least on the same side, or do they drive on the
It was at least the same side.
At least the same side, because I'm not familiar with that. So I thought
because they were a French colonized country.
Okay.
So
that got you. That's right. That's right.
So that was an experience of itself. And it's like, when do I go? When do I go? And you learn about the big truck rule. Like, the bigger the car, then you just get out of their way.
Right.
And then it's funny. Like, there's like one. Yeah, there was one at the time we were there. One stoplight out of the whole capital, because we lived in the capital of that country. And then it was like every time you stop at a stop sign or stoplight, if you've been out of the country before, then like people go up to the car and they try to sell you stuff or whatever, but they'll do the reverse. Like at least the kids, they'll try to they'll wash your car or windshield and then hold out their hand for money. Okay. So they do the work and then hope that you pay.
And hope you pay.
Yeah.
So then you really feel guilty if you don't, because they already did the work.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But that was just another part of it that thrown into everything. And then it's like, where's the lanes? They're like, everything's all dirt. Like there's a million potholes. And then you start to learn to drive like this. And then I even took a video of it at one point and posted it on my TikTok. And you can see it and it looks so crazy. It's like a kid crossing the street, rolling a tire, and then like a car that's coming directly at you, but to steer away, and that they will too. And there was another side to it that once you learn it, there was just this whole thing of like, nobody really wants to get in wrecks or anything.
Right.
Like, and they're not extreme rule followers. They're just respecters. Mm-hmm. Here in the U.S., though, we came back and everyone's so rule following that they would probably, like, not everyone, but a lot of people would rather hit you just because you're in the wrong and they were in the right.
Right.
And then just because that's the rules. It's like, oh, come on.
It's like
collaborate a little.
Collaborate. Move to the left and move to the right. But through that experience, though, you found out, I could see that, you found out that not only were you facing your fear, but no matter what environment you can adapt to that and overcome.
Oh, I just got chills because that was exactly the foundational part of my life where I could do that.
Yeah.
I found that? Coming out of that, it was like,
yeah,
I felt like I could do anything. Mm-hmm. God got me through that and used us through that too.
Yeah.
It,
Amazing.
I
And
mean,
then, yeah.
another like funny thing though.
What's that?
I got pulled over so many times.
Oh my
I
goodness.
can't say what country now because
Right.
I don't like dogging on that side of things. But yeah,
Right.
there was a time a cop chased me all the way across a river and
Chased you? Did you like
I didn't
flee?
know. I didn't know.
So
But
you
they
ran?
were chasing me. I was running on
Oh, you
accident.
didn't know. So you ran on
Yep.
accident. He says you
And they
ran on accident.
confiscated all my stuff.
Okay.
And so we had to send someone
Oh,
out to go get
what?
it.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
I'm glad that we got to the place, our destination
Mm-hmm.
before. And then
Well, yeah.
they took it all and we just sent someone to go get it and it took like a day. It was fine.
Okay. Well,
But
that would
and then I
be
got pulled over for like drumming. I was listening to some music and air drumming. It was that we were stopped and then I was air drumming. It drew attention and they
well, isn't that funny in reverse? Like we have all the rules here in driving and never would get pulled over for drumming in the car, but there's not rules over there in the driving as much, but you got in trouble
I
for
think what it was, they knew I was an expat, like
oh, okay.
I wasn't part of their culture.
Oh,
I
okay.
stood
Yeah.
out. And so
Yes, I got you.
and usually that means they have money and so we're going to just go
Right.
talk to them to see if we can find something to get money.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
they weren't like extreme corrupt or anything in the one that I was in. It was
Right.
just
Right.
that was just the nature of things. And
Well, I think that we find that in life, like obstacles that come that we can't change, that we have to overcome and get
yeah.
over,
And I guess
Yeah.
if we're in the subject of fear, another like add-on was just like they all like carry AK-47 rifles around.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, we
the
would.
cops or the
That would
army
be
or
enough
like
to scare me.
we got stopped because there were tanks in the road before,
Mhm.
And so all this stuff is going on and it can be very scary
Oh, yeah.
and you don't want to say anything. But I was the other kind of character who was trying to see through that,
Right.
see through the fronts and see someone's heart or soul the way that Jesus sees them.
Right.
And
Exactly.
even though I can't speak the language, I knew hello. And so I
Mhm.
would say hello in their language. And even though they look very intimidating, they would
Right.
light up and
Right.
smile because you spoke their language. And then
Mhm.
they'd say something back and then it's like, oh, well, I don't know. I can't carry after that.
Like, very little, very
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that says a lot, that, even in the midst of fear, you just need to resonate with someone, just someone feeling that you somewhat know them,
Yeah.
that opens up that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It was great. Where have you been?
where have I
I know you've been places, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, not as much, not Africa. Although I want to. I've always had a
I want to
vision.
go back. Do you want to go with me?
Sure, let's
Because
do.
there was a little film crew there that they're still going. I taught them, and then they're still going.
Oh, awesome. Well, I
It's
also
cool.
have my dad's best friend.
Okay.
He actually has a group there that in Africa. So that is pretty cool. So he has like a place
That's
there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, so that is pretty neat. So I'm supposed to be going over there to see their village. So it's like a school. They have a school, and then like all the kids come in and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love doing all that, like traveling and
Yeah. Yeah. So I do want to go. I've always had the vision of, going over but of course having lots of children and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't ever able to do a mission trip,
Okay.
yet.
How old's your youngest?
So my youngest is trying to think about this. My youngest is
Is that what 8 does?
yeah, it does. It does that to you. He's just turned 23, and
Okay.
just got married a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he
Nice.
just got married. My youngest is 23, and then I have a 24-year-old daughter, a 27 or 28-year-old son, and then Gabriel, 29, and then 30.
Mm.
And then it jumps. So I have 3 bonus daughters. I don't call them stepdaughters because they didn't step on me and I didn't step on them.
Yeah.
I birthed them through my knees. So, I love them just as much. They're all my children. So I call them a bonus. So anyway, so I was like, I chose you. I didn't choose these other ones, but I chose you.
Mm.
And so, yeah, so they are 30, let me get this right, 37, 39 and one's or 38 and one's getting ready to be 40. Yep.
Yep.
So yeah.
But now you can go places without them, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's nice because they're old enough now to watch Gabriel. So my husband and I are actually getting to travel places.
Okay.
So we go over the weekend. Like we've been, went to New York one weekend. That was really fun. Yeah. So just different things like that. Which is nice because it's always been I always talk about finding your identity. We're talking about fear, and finding our identity.
Yeah.
For so many years, by always being a full-time mom and, in church full-time, I always was doing something on the ministry side, whether it was little tots or leading worship, or it was always something. So I found that became my identity. And, I wasn't, so it kind of yes, you're walking in some of your purpose, but sometimes that gets shaded because you're doing things for everybody else.
Identity is so deep.
It really is.
It's so deep because I don't think it's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you do things doesn't mean you are that.
Right. No, exactly.
But it runs so deep that there's a foundational level of who you are before that. Mm-hmm. But then it's weird because who you are can change.
Oh, yes.
Hence your name.
Yes.
Be life changers.
Right.
Lives can change and people can change. There's embedded code and DNA in everyone.
Right.
But beyond that, it's
oh,
man,
yeah, and in your experiences. Just think about the experience you just talked about being in Africa with your family. That experience changed lives, but also changed your life in the midst of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I always say what you do throughout life all comes together to be what your true purpose is. So you can see things from when I was just turned 16, I started working in sales. I've been in sales all my life. I started out in Walmart. That's where I worked. They hired me. I was 15, but I couldn't come to work till I was 16. But that's where I worked. And I was in sales. I was over health and beauty aids right away. And so then it just evolved from that. I was in lots of sales, always customer service. And all that came through, to having kids and then a daycare. And all those things came together to be who I am right now. Those experiences, those challenges I went through, like with Gabriel, having a son with special needs, having a blended family. That's a whole episode we can do.
Oh, wow. Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. Comment below. But yes, but that can be very encouraging to people because it can be done. We are very close. My kids all have a group chat together. That doesn't always happen between blended families. And all of
now
them
that's your social media because there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many.
That's what became my ultimate family text. It's I don't need social media. We just post here.
Yeah, exactly. But they have one that they do talk about all the dirty. I know they talk about me on there. They talk about their
Snapchat.
daddy.
They don't expect you.
Oh yeah, goes snaps and goes away. But it's okay though. But I love that because they have each other. Because there's a time that you can't go to your parents with stuff, but they have each other to bounce that off with. And so all those experiences, lead to who you really are. And
it takes time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Through the experiences. I love that you're saying try things, try to do things because you don't know sometimes until you try it.
If you would have ever asked me if I was going to be a group fitness instructor, let alone a personal trainer, I would have laughed at you. There's no way.
If I never picked up a camera when I was little, hey, we made Star Wars Episode 7 before it actually released.
Oh, wow.
By the way.
Okay.
Before Disney bought it and made theirs. They stole it from us. I'm just kidding. No. They didn't steal it. But I do have that. And we would just go in the backyard and I was always the one with the camera and recording it. And that's where all that really got instilled into me. Mm-hmm. And then went to school for music and then came back, did music, and then that also meant wearing multiple hats, so I still did video, and I got my reps in, and then ultimately decided, hey, I think video's the niche route for me that I'm called to do because there's so much impact with messages and with story. Mm-hmm. But the hard thing is that there's a world out there where people are manipulating footage. People are manipulating things for their own agenda and putting it out there. And then we all think the world's a negative place because of bad media and people cutting just to get views, because we all eat up that fear content.
Right.
It just sells.
Yes.
And so it's nice to play a role and to be part of that positive change and to put out content that's really good. And that's why I love that you came in and started the Be Life Changers with us, because this is one that, like, if you listen to this, your life is going to be different because of it. And it's going to be positive. And I really love that about your podcast. And it really was just like a divine appointment, like
I
just
truly
to me,
believe
like
that. Yes. And that's just my heart. That's always been my passion, is for, just what we're doing, bringing that spotlight and the community that you live in. It may not be here in Kansas City.
Right.
Your community may be wherever, the listeners are. That's your community. But, share that local love, collaborate with people, come together. We have enough, like you said, fear-based, enough negativity, all of that. They say stories that sell. I want stories that sell, that tell the good, like make an impact.
Yep.
Because that's what helps people. Because you're not alone. You know that maybe just like you said, being a stay-at-home father. Now you don't feel like you're alone. If you're a father at home, now you're not alone. So or a family that's huge. That's not normal right now to have a big family. But when you can listen to something inspiring like this on Be Life Changers, that's going to change your life. But not only that, when I see that help someone else, it changes my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then in collaboration and community, everyone can impact everyone, and we could become more of a movement because of it. And that would be really phenomenal.
Definitely. I want it to definitely be a movement. Yeah. So, but thank you so much for being on my podcast. I'm so excited. Of course, make sure you follow them, JT Visuals. Again, without the I, because they are definitely more than meets the eye, because look at all this amazingness. Thank you so much, Jared.
Thank you. It's an honor.
I appreciate all that you're doing.
I'm just
doing
so
for the
humbled.
Community. I know. I'm humbled. I'm for what you guys are doing for the community. Your network is amazing. You got to check out the other podcasts, guys. Follow them, like it, share. Follow and like me on Be Life Changers. Share it. Comment below. Tell us this. We want to hear an experience. We want to know something that you can comment below that was a life changer for you. We want to hear about it. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time on Be Life Changers.